2, 3, 4.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters, on this, our 55th episode of the Good Morning Guys podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we continue discussing the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and play. I am one of your hosts, the Brazilian mountaineer, Lucas Ham-Swisher. Also with me, the judge, jury, and executioner of fake news and spoilers, Patrick Novosel.
Welcome to the Good Morning Guys NPR station.
It's so great to have you here, Patrick. In addition to Patrick, our volleyball and beast of the East who can make you laugh in 3 words or less, Ronnie Johantis.
I think I'm in the wrong room.
You're just where you should be, Ronnie. We're so thankful you're here. And our final member of the GMG Quadfecta, the man with music in his heart, Doctor Who on his brain, and La Coretta in his old estomago, Marc Boucher.
I'll have you know, some people like to call me the Quiet Storm.
Also, Spin Doctor.
That as well.
Also, the real Ronnie Johantis.
That is true.
And the fake
Yes.
Marc Boucher.
That is correct. Folks, if this is your first time joining us, Mark, anything you'd like to share with the first-timers?
I would just like to express my discomfort at just how quiet I'm attempting to be.
I got something.
I think we need to ramp it up.
That's a great way to welcome first-timers. If it's not your first time joining us, good morning, my brothers and sisters. I hope you guys enjoyed that NPR intro. I'm not doing that anymore. I almost fell asleep.
This is NPR.
This is GMG NPR. Could we add any more letters? I think we could.
Yes.
All right, guys, just wanted to mix it up a bit, try a different intro. Hopefully you're not asleep if you're listening right now or if you've already changed the channel. I don't think that's how.
Redo it.
Redo it right now.
It's the ASMR
Nope.
edition.
We ain't got time for that. It's 45 minutes to midnight. We got to get going. All right, so
I don't understand what any of these letters mean.
that's okay. We didn't hire you here. We didn't bring you here because you understand letters.
You didn't
Yeah,
hire me at
other
all.
reasons.
I've got $1
I know.
yet.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I changed
Who's
what I
getting your
said. I said
dollars?
bring you here. It's the second thing I said.
How much are you getting paid here? Nothing. I'll double it.
Beyond the NPR voice for the first timers and the joiners, as they are called, the not first time joiners, I'm mixing it up a bit, getting a little random.
At least it wasn't confusing.
I know,
He's
not
getting
at
a
all.
little weird.
Getting a little weird. You know who else likes to get weird? Well, we'll save that for later. I'm just going to say it out at the front. We would be eternally grateful for all you not first-time listeners if you would take the time to rate and review our podcast. I've been told that it helps reach new potential listeners. And also, when we reach 35 reviews, I do want to emphasize Patrick is going to do his second crazy thing. So, he's making weird face at me. You
Patrick
can't see
is
it right now.
supposed to be doing something weird.
Or, let's change it up. Instead of doing something crazy, do something weird.
I like it.
Yes. So, with 35 reviews, we're 4 away. We're at 31 now. If you can add 4 more reviews, people, it would be fantastic, and Patrick will do something weird. But if you've already done that, hey, don't stop there. Grab your friend or family member's device. Find us on their podcast, service of choice. Subscribe and leave a rating, review, all that good stuff. Because, as always, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. With that, let's jump in. Ramp up the energy for some good stuff. Starting with Patrick. What is new with you, my brother? From another
You
mother.
want to know what's new with me?
I do. Let's hear it.
Do you want to know what's new with
Yep.
me? Nothing.
Sweet.
So yeah, this this past week, I worked a ton, which did not leave any time to do anything else. I did not watch any movies, did not watch any TV. I played one night of video games, and that was it. I played with Mark and Eric, Bangoman 09 one night, and Mark and Eric and I were playing, I don't know, for a couple hours, and then Mark jumps off, and Mark, guess what happened right after you jumped off?
Oh, let me guess. You won the game.
We did.
Wow. Nice.
So it's my
I feel
fault.
like that always happens. As soon as someone jumps off, a win happens. So ended the night on a win. I got a 1 win last week. I think I'm up to 110 wins for season 2. So I'm looking forward to next week. I think even when how work is just killing me, I think I'm gonna find time to play some games next week since the new season comes out for Apex. But yeah, other than that, nothing. Absolutely nothing of note. It was one of those weeks.
Short and sweet.
Yep. So Mark, do you have anything better than what happened with me last week?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I'll try my best.
Spice it up a bit.
So the only major things that happened as of note were, so Friday, my wife and I have talked about getting a lot better with her, basically with our budgeting and our, managing money, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's important.
And so we are watching the, if you've ever heard of Dave Ramsey, he has a series of videos about managing your money and any debt and saving money and all that kind of stuff. It's called Financial Peace University, and so
oh yeah, I've done that. That's good. That's a good program.
Dave Ramsey does things from a biblical perspective, and so my wife and I started watching those videos because basically I promised her that we would watch them and try to learn from those and apply that to our money-making decisions. So we started watching those, and then Saturday I helped my sister move out of her house into an apartment, because unfortunately a lot of life is occurring in her family. So she had to move from a house to a small apartment, but it's a nice apartment in any case. But she had a lot of people there helping out, which was awesome. We were able to get it done in a few hours, which was definitely a plus. On the gaming side of things, just been playing lots of Borderlands. Borderlands 3. I have no idea, how far I am into it, whether I'm even close to being done. I'd say probably not. I'm probably halfway done, maybe. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I played a little bit of co-op with some people in the community, but mainly I've been doing it myself. I did jump in a couple days for some Apex. I talked about playing Apex with Patrick. Also jumped in with Jonathan, aka Sheldor, a little bit, as well as I think we were playing with Frankie the other night. So I've gotten to jump in a little bit with that. I'm very excited for Season 3 of Apex. They are ramping it up in terms of promoting Season 3, and in particular, Crypto, the new playable character for the game. They've introduced more and more little things. He's a hacker, basically. And so they've basically portrayed him as kind of like hacking the little island where the Apex games are played on. He's hacking all the computers and stuff like that. And I was actually watching a video, and it's a streamer who's kind of notorious for being really good at Apex. And he was playing, and in the middle of playing the game, his actual screen started messing up, and then the Crypto logo showed up while he was in the middle of playing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
I like how they do that stuff.
They are firing on all cylinders for the PR. I'm excited for season 3, excuse me.
Someone's a little behind.
Yeah, so season 3, and by the way, Tuesday, I believe, is October 1st, next Tuesday. I'm going to stream some Apex.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm excited for season 3. So 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's Eastern Daylight Time, because I learned there's a difference between daylight and standard.
Learn something new every day.
Yep. Thank you so much to Matt, aka Arctic Warlocks, for that. But yeah, I will be streaming at 9:30 on Tuesday, day 1 of season 3 of Apex. I'm gonna stream a little bit. If anybody cares to join me, wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
I may be there.
Yeah.
All right, Ronnie. Hope to see you there, Ronnie.
I'll be there.
I would not be against that.
Someone would have to download it onto his PS4 in order.
Someone would have to have a PS4 in order to do it. He kind of doesn't have a PS4.
So
Yep.
someone else does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wink, wink.
And he
Nudge,
he
nudge.
would have to download it to his PS4. I don't know if I have enough space.
You
my
deleted it.
Just delete your random little kid game that you don't play anymore. Just delete it, and there's room.
Exactly.
How's he going to get that
But,
3-hour platinum if he deletes it?
That's right. I'm saving that baby for a rainy night.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything on my end. Just a lot of Borderlands 3, having a great time with that. And that's pretty much it. Ronnie, how was your week?
Oh, man, I had a doozy of a week.
Let's hear it.
I played in a volleyball tournament on Saturday and lost a lot. It was really
Ouch.
just one of those tournaments where Elizabeth and I signed up as a team, and they pair you with like 2 other people, and you just get paired with different like pairs throughout the day. We had a lot of fun, but we didn't really do that good. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And also, we took the day off yesterday, and we were moving her stuff from her apartment.
I thought you were building up for something else than moving.
I was building it. I just didn't have any. I didn't have anything at the end. No, so we took the whole day off yesterday and went to her apartment early and got a bunch of stuff moved. One of my buddies helped me, and I am so sore today from carrying all this stuff. So she only had one couch. It's only a 1-bedroom apartment, but she has, the best way I could describe it is she has a lot of stuff. I could also describe it as hoarding a little bit.
Uh-oh.
It's really just like, it's not like the episode of Hoarders you see where they have like garbage everywhere and stuff.
Weird things.
It's more like she hoards like knickknacks and decorations. And
that's important later in life. I don't know. Are they like holiday decorations?
Some of them.
Like for Halloween and Christmas and.
Those are important.
I mean, I guess it's way more decorations than I have. I mean, she has more in one box than I have in my whole house.
I will not be surprised if some of them start to appear around your house.
That's already happening. That is totally already happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Making it her own.
Yep. She is nesting here now. And there are things throughout the house. I notice new things all the time. Like, did you put that pumpkin out? She's like, maybe.
No, that's yours.
No, but we moved
I don't know,
everything.
did I?
We are like, so we basically been like over the past, I don't know, month and a half, 2 months, like been just moving stuff over slowly. And then we realized that it's basically by the 31st she has to be out of her apartment, which is only a few days away.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
So we realized we had to actually start moving stuff, like for real. And no, we did not do a good job at a slow move. The idea was, let's just get it, slowly move stuff over a month and a half or so and get everything in. And we totally didn't do that, because what happens every time that we have like an evening or a day where we can move, we're like, I'll come home and I'll be like, so movie? And she's like, yeah. And then we just do movie or something like that. And yeah, we didn't get anything done until the end. So now we're kind of rushing a little bit. But so right now my whole house is filled with boxes. Like there is just stuff everywhere. And I thought about like what's
Time to build
the
a fort.
best way? if you had to move a bunch of boxes into your house, they all basically need to be like, entered into the cabinets and things like that. Everything has to be like combined. And the best way I figured out to do them is just to put a ton of boxes in the way of my actual living space so that I have to put them away.
That's a good call.
So there are boxes.
Or do you just like
everywhere.
grab your foot and like kind of like push it off to the side just to out of the way so you can actually move?
I realized
I've done that move.
I realized the other day that like that's not really even working because I have like 6 or 7 boxes stacked like in the middle of my kitchen, and they're like perfect height if you were just like needed a standing table. So I was like eating some leftovers the other night, just standing there using the boxes as a table. Like, well, this didn't work out the way I planned.
This is perfect.
Perfect height
Nice.
though, just happened to be there. So we definitely have a pretty good task ahead of us. The one highlight of the whole move is I had my buddy come over with me, and she had one couch, and this couch is one of those, it's like I guess kind of a love seat. I don't know if they call them a love seat, if they have like the console in the middle. It has like the 2 like reclining chairs and the cup holders in the middle with the console there. I don't know if they really call that like a love
Does
seat.
that flip up?
No. No.
I would not consider that a love seat.
There's no love happening. You have a divider. So this couch, this may have been the heaviest couch I've ever moved in my whole life. It's leather, and it's one of those couches that has like, you run electric to it, and the recliners like come right out by themselves and stuff. Like there's motors in it. It was so ridiculous. And of course, as luck would have it, her apartment, 3rd story. That never fails. Nobody ever lives on the bottom floor. I've never known anybody to live there. Everybody I've ever moved is like on the 3rd or 4th floor of an apartment building. But we had to get that down. Me and my buddy got it down, and then to get it into my house, because it's not a couch like we're going to use, because it's just like the 2 seats, like we're not going to use it like in our living room. So we decided to put it in the basement for now, and it's kind of like a couch by my ping pong table. If we're like playing ping pong, like we have a nice couch there now.
Oh, perfect.
But what that meant was we had to carry it all the way around my house and go in through the walkout basement door. It was such a journey. It was so bad. Like the insides of my arms, like my forearms, like are like on fire today. Like I can't barely like stretch my fingers out because I feel like everything's so tight. All the muscles are so sore. But we did do a pretty good amount. We didn't get everything, but we're actually taking the day off on Friday. I have a rehearsal dinner on Friday for Bango Man 09, actually, for Eric. Yeah, he is getting married this weekend.
Nice.
And his rehearsal is on Friday, and I'm actually in that wedding, so
You're in the wedding party?
I am in the wedding party. I think I'm the 3 man.
Are you the best man,
No,
or
I'm the
are you
third one.
you're the third best man?
I'm the 3rd man in line. I don't know if best really comes into play at all for me.
Third. So you know what's a really good present to give people when you're
What
the
is
third
that? Because I
best
have
man?
not bought a present yet, and I need to do that.
You should get the last 45 minutes of Superman and show it to
Pretty
Bango
sure
Man 09
Pretty
and
sure
watch
you
it
would
with
not
him.
appreciate that.
And then after 49 weeks, you would have watched the entirety of
I'm going to
Superman
renew
movie.
my vows with Mel and be like, all right, for the present I want from Ronnie. You don't need to get me anything. You just need to watch this.
I feel like Eric would not appreciate that, and his fiancee Kayla would definitely not appreciate that as a gift.
Eric, watch
She
this
would
with
be
me. It's
pretty
the last
upset,
45
I think.
minutes
That's
of
a
the Superman
task,
movie.
man. I've already given up.
And it would totally ruin the mood. They'll be like, I don't want to get married anymore.
But
Just fly
cannot
around
be
the earth.
friends with Ronnie
Turn back
anymore.
so I
time.
have that coming up, and on Sunday we actually had to. So the wedding party and like the parents all went over to his fiance's parents' house, and her family is Greek, so we actually had to learn like the Greek wedding dance, because basically the whole wedding party like has to do that. So that was definitely interesting. It's one of those dances where like everybody like
That's cool.
locks arms, and there's really only like 10 steps in the dance. It's not really like extremely difficult, but It's gonna be a disaster.
I can't wait.
It's
to
gonna be a
see
disaster.
it, and I can't wait to.
I mean, I was ready to go. I'm just waiting for like I was kind of hoping in the middle of it I would get to like freelance and do whatever I wanted, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Which is good for them, probably. But that's on Saturday, so I will report back next week and let you know how that went.
Mm-hmm.
But as for me,
I will live stream it on Twitch.
live streaming on Twitch. You could probably talk Eric into doing that. But no, probably not. Probably not. He's at that stage now where they're getting ready to get married, so I think he's trying to appease her, and like the wedding is very. I don't want to say the wedding is much more important to the woman, but generally they take it way more serious. They take it way more serious. So I'm trying to be on good behavior for Eric, even though I want to get him in all kinds of trouble. I'm trying to be on good behavior, so we'll see how that works out at the actual wedding.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I mean, I think I probably myself will have good luck, but Eric, I don't know. I don't know about that. Probably not. But no, that's pretty much it for me for the week. Moving. Oh, on the video game front, by the way.
Whoa.
I did nothing still.
Oh.
Still didn't play a single game.
Building it up and then nothing.
Just thought I would add that in.
Nice.
Lucas, how was your week?
Well, my week was all over the place. I might as well jump to the present and say I am back in Brazil. It is official. I am taking it easy with my family.
Nice.
And it's good to be home.
I bet it is.
Zipping back, yeah, it's really good. But zipping back to last week, I finished up my time in Indiana, like on Wednesday or Thursday. And during that time, I also completed Donkey Kong Country Returns. So I was able to sneak in. I got that fake platinum trophy. No, I definitely did not get the platinum. To get the platinum, quote unquote platinum in that game, there are so many collectibles. And some of those levels are like screaming at the cat, like terrible. Like where you're just yelling and words are coming out of your mouth and then you have to pray and do communion and read the Bible.
It's a rough
Do you
game.
even have a cat?
It's a rough game
at that point?
No, but
He would get a cat.
Just to scream.
where I was, I'd get the cat and yell at it just to hold it up in the air and be like, "Why can't I beat this level?" No, but the people that Wes and Tiffany have cats, so and they were really jumpy cats, especially
when you were
Snickers.
yelling at them.
Yeah, no, I wasn't yelling though. I said it made you want to yell. Some of the levels were so infuriating, but it was also the story was one of the weirdest stories ever. Just to give you like a small anecdote, at the end of the game, you arrive at the final boss, and you see a pile of bananas, of course, because that's what Donkey Kong is after, his bananas. And all the bosses that you've defeated, the mini bosses, they pop out of the pile of bananas, and then behind them, a larger boss comes up behind them. They start throwing the bananas into the mouth of the larger boss. And during all of this time, Donkey and Diddy Kong are just staring at them, obviously not doing anything about this. But they throw all these bananas in the mouth of the boss. The boss chews it up, and then he spits the banana juice all over the mini bosses. And those mini bosses become banana balls, and then they merge together to form his hands. And then you fight the boss. And I was like, what did I just watch? I don't understand what is happening. But the final boss wasn't that bad. I figured it out, beat it, and I was like, never touching this game again. Good times. I enjoyed it, though. It was a good little platformer, and I mean, I missed the originals were still better. But it was pretty fun. But I did that. Then the next few days after that, spent some time in Ohio with my in-laws. They just bought a home, sold their old home. And also I met up with MTTG community member Jared Orr.
Nice.
At Buffalo Wild Wings
Jared.
in Myers-Briggs City. What a cool guy. It was really fun to hang out with him, talk about all kinds of stuff, talk about God, life, jobs, politics,
go to a Chuck E. Cheese.
A little bit of everything. Childhood. Yeah, I went to a Chuck E. Cheese and realized that it's a lot more childish than it used to be, so it was not something we wanted to do. But we did go into like this off-brand Radio Shack, and we played some Mario Kart on an emulator called Raspberry Pi.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a.
You guys heard of that? Yeah, I had never heard of it before, but we played Mario Kart on it, and then Jared's like, "Oh yeah, it's a Raspberry Pi," and of course my mind just went to actual Raspberry Pi, and I was like, that sounds good.
Pie.
But then they explained what it was. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. But so we did get to play that, and then after that, I just packed up my stuff, and I started my return journey on Monday morning, and it was a whole lot of fun. And by fun, I mean it was a drag sometimes.
And by fun, I mean not fun.
And by fun, not fun. So it all started on Sunday. Sunday afternoon, we drove from Mount Vernon, Ohio to Pittsburgh, which is about 2 to 2.5 hours, and got to a Holiday Inn. We had to stay at a hotel because I had to be at the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning, which was not cool. Originally, I had to be at the airport at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then like a month ago, they changed the flight time, and instead of me leaving at noon, they were like, you're going to leave at 6 a.m.
Gross.
Like, great. Fantastic. So we stayed the night, and once we got settled, I got a whole solid 5 hours of sleep probably, and then got up at like 3:15 in the morning, took a shower, grabbed my stuff, and John took me to the airport. And from there, I flew to Chicago, and then I proceeded to get a little lost because my flight landed in one terminal, and it said, go to Terminal 5. And I did not know how to get to Terminal 5. And then there was like all these cryptic signs telling you that the way to get to Terminal 5 was somewhere. But then when I finally got to it, it was boarded up, and the train that can take you to all the terminals was closed.
Oh my gosh.
There was not a sign. There was not a sign saying where the alternative route was. So I ended up eventually just talking to random people that work there and finding out that there was a bus. And when I got on this bus, I was about to get on the bus, and someone yells, "Hey, Lucas." And I'm like, what? I look over, and one of Mindy's coworkers from her school, who was just so happening to be going to the U.S. to be with his family, he got off the bus while I was getting on it.
No.
And I was like,
Wow.
And his name's Marc. Marc, isn't that fun?
Crazy.
And I was just like, hey, Marc. Like, Mindy had just
Hey,
told
Ronnie.
me about him like an hour ago. Yeah, and he called me Ronnie, funnily enough. And I talked to him for a couple minutes and was just like, this is crazy that we saw each other. What are the odds that you'd run into someone you know, like, in an airport, like, international travel? I don't know what the odds are.
Zero.
I'm not a mathematician, but I
There
imagine...
aren't
You
any.
beat the odds.
Yeah, I beat the odds. There are no odds. 0% chance it could happen, and it happened. Craziness. From there, I finally found my plane. I jumped on that plane, and then I flew to Panama, where I realized my card was not cleared. My credit card was not cleared to be used in Panama, only the U.S. and Brazil, and I had $1 in cash. And so for the next 7 hours...
You were playing the guitar?
I played my Vita and got a platinum trophy
Oh.
to keep my mind busy because I was so hungry and thirsty. And they do not have water fountains in Panama Airport. They do not have... There was like no alternative for me to get food or drink. So for the next 7 hours, I just did stuff to occupy my time. I did Skype with my families for a little bit, kind of our last little chat on Skype before getting home. And then I did platinum a little game that took 6 hours to platinum called Demetrios. It was a little point-and-click adventure, and it actually was one of the weirdest, funniest point-and-click adventure games that I've played. But I finished it, deleted it, moved on from there. It's fine. And then after that, I got to the international airport in Sao Paulo called Guarulhos, and I got momentarily lost again because I had to go to another terminal and then get a bus to then get to the national airport that is 20 minutes from my house. And then once I got to that one it's called Congonhas, by the way, I then got stuck there for 4 hours because the guy who was going to give me a ride, his son had to go to the hospital. And then I called another guy and he said, yeah, man, I can come pick you up. And then he called me back almost immediately and said, oh, I can't leave my house till 10 o'clock because in Sao Paulo, they have a rule where depending on the number of your license plate, you can't drive on the major highways or streets because it's so busy. That's the only way they can keep the traffic down so that, just keep things under control.
Wow.
So he couldn't leave his house till 10. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I've waited this long. I can, what's another couple hours? So I waited, and while I waited, I ate the worst Egg McMuffin ever from Brazilian McDonald's. And then finally, he came, and he picked me up and took me home. And then I spent the rest of the afternoon unpacking. I don't know why I'm looking at the clock, because it's not now. I spent the rest of the afternoon unpacking, and then right when I finished, my family walked in. I think I had time to take a shower, too. That was good. After about 33 hours of travel, I was ready to take a shower. And then my family walked in, and we hugged and kissed each other. Now I'm at home, getting settled, playing Pat's copy of Telltale Games' Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did take that one.
I got that baby started up today. Yeah, I did.
I would if you wouldn't have reminded me, I would have forgotten all about it.
You still will.
I know I will. You're like, hey, can I take
another
this?
couple
I'm like,
months.
yeah, go ahead. I already platinumed it.
And I started that not just because I like Telltale Games and Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's good.
Which, it's good. And I love the fact that they use all the music from the movies in it. It makes it that much better.
Yeah.
But I also, while I was in the U.S., like right at the end, I bought myself some PlayStation Gold wireless headphones. The PS Golds.
Oh,
I don't know what name they go by, but I wanted to test those babies out because I've never had headphones that had any kind of surround sound on them. So far I've really liked them. They're really nice. Played with them a little, playing GoldenEye. No. Guardians of the Galaxy, and a little bit with God of War. So it has settings on it where you can get an app for free, get an app on your PlayStation where you choose the game you're going to play. And they have like 2 dozen games, and one of them's God of War. So I changed the setting on the headphones, and it automatically changes the setting on your head. It like just beep boops and then changes it.
Oh.
And then I played God of War, and it sounds really cool.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm loving the headphones so far. Besides that, I will say that I missed video games while I was gone, so it was nice to just turn on that old PS4 and get to playing.
How long?
And it just really reminded me
for you to update.
Go ahead. It only took like 10 minutes.
Oh, no way.
I had an
Nice.
update.
Okay.
I just had one update, and it did the little update. And that was the first thing I did when I got home. Like, I got home, put my bags down, and I was like, I need to update the PS4 so it's ready when I want to actually start playing. But, yeah. So I did that, got the update going while I unpacked and did other stuff. It was nice. But it just made me think about, in general, how I really just like games. And I was wondering if you guys would play a quick game with me. A word game.
I like games.
Good. Let's play a game. Starting with Ronnie. Ronnie, what is the past tense of run?
Ran.
Perfect. Marc, what is the synonym of stupid? And if you say it twice, it becomes a brand of lollipop.
Dum-dum.
Right, but just one word's good.
Wait, what?
Dumb.
Oh, dumb. Okay. Well, fine.
There you go. And then Patrick,
Uh-oh.
the last name of a mythical creature in Scotland that starts with lock.
Ness.
Ronnie, what was your word?
I don't know.
You suck. That's right, folks. Randomness is what we're talking about today. We're jumping right in. Ronnie's not going to stop me now. We're going to jump right in to randomness. Because we are getting random. Let's do it. All right, guys. To start out our topic of randomness and to clue in people that maybe have never joined us before, every now and again we like to all bring a topic, a random topic to talk about together. And this episode is no different than the other 2 or 3 times we've done it. But to warm us up today, we actually have some random questions from members of our community, listeners, and such. And so I wanted to share a few of those. Yeah, some joiners. Yeah, we really just need to use joiners. I much prefer that one. So from our first joiner, Barnaby Butterteeth on the Discord, he wanted to know, how many consecutive days do you wear your pants/jeans/shorts before they are considered dirty and need a wash? Asking the important questions here. So, guys, real quick, what is your stipulations and standards for washing what you put on your legs?
There's no limit until they look dirty.
Yep, you gotta get a stain on them.
If you get a stain on them,
jeans,
then
man.
that's when you need
That's
to wash
when you
them.
gotta do it. Yep.
The
appearance and smell are the 2 big ones.
Yes.
This is true. It has to be a noticeable change in them in order
I could
for me
wear
to wash
them
my jeans.
1 time or 50 times. It really depends on when I get that stain gets on there.
Okay. I feel like if I have a day where it's really hot and I sweat a lot, I'm very keen on the fact that I should probably wash my pants.
Okay.
That's
So,
good call.
But I feel like, but
the
also I
sweat
feel
levels.
like because you're wearing underwear under the jeans, the sweat doesn't necessarily just go right to the jeans, though. You know what I mean?
Right, that's
unless
true. It
your
doesn't.
calves
I guess
are
it
sweaty.
depends if you're wearing underwear.
That's true also.
Sometimes the wife does call me Commander Ham.
Commando ham?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm learning more about you than I want to.
She calls me Commander Ham. And then I correct her and say, no, that's Commando Ham. Thank you very much.
Oh, now you got to change your name on Discord.
Yep, time to change it to Commander O Ham. Do you guys ever put your jeans in the freezer? I remember hearing about this when I was in high school, and I think it's weird.
That's
But
why.
instead of washing jeans, some people don't think you should wash your jeans. Instead, you put them in the freezer to kill the germs.
Do you do that with
guys ever heard of
all
this?
clothing?
No, I've only heard it with jeans. I've never heard
What
about
if you
it
get a
with
stain?
any other clothes. I mean,
It freezes off?
you freeze off the stain. No, I don't know. That's just
That doesn't
something I've
make any
heard. I've
sense.
never done it,
alien
but I just wondered
technology.
if that was maybe it's just a West
People
Virginia
are
thing.
stupid.
They're dum-dums.
Have you ever put your jeans in the freezer, Lucas?
I already answered that question.
Do you say no?
That is correct. I have not put my jeans in the freezer.
So you have.
Nope.
Got it.
Got it?
Good.
Great. Mike Doherty on Facebook, also known as Shiplig on Twitter. He has lots of questions. So we're going to make...
Wait, is it
Hey, Mike-
Shiplig or Splig?
Yeah, that's what I just
Nope.
called it Splig. I could be wrong.
Nope, it's Shiplig.
it?
Is it Shiplig?
No, I don't know what it is. That's
fact-checking
just what
this.
I say in my head. Splig is not... That just doesn't work in my head. I say Shiplig.
We'll have to ask
but
him.
It's probably Splig.
I will find
Just
out and
ask
I will
him.
report back.
All right, so we got Mike Doherty's lightning round. Ready? What are your other hobbies? I don't know what the original hobbies were, but I started smoking barbecue. No, I started smoking.
That sentence did
as in
not end
barbecue.
where I thought it was going to. And I'm glad for
Yeah,
it.
I started smoking, in parentheses, barbecue. And I really want to get into woodworking, but I can't do either in the evenings. At times I would game. So, guys, other hobbies.
He got
besides
into smoking
podcasting.
barbecue, and that made him want to get into woodworking?
That is correct.
Is that the transition that I'm understanding?
No, that's his hobbies, is smoking, as in barbecuing, and woodworking. So they both have to do with wood, but I think it just happens to be by chance. So, any hobbies you want to share?
I like to ruin your transitions. That's a
It's
hobby.
quite a hobby.
Look at his face. He's so upset.
It's not a transition time, so
The
guess what?
hatred and disgust for Ronnie
Nothing
is
ruined.
dripping.
There is no hatred here. Only love in my heart.
It was just, he's not upset. He's just disappointed.
You're not wrong.
Well, for me, I don't have time to formulate new hobbies. The hobbies that I have is video gaming, and then with the wife and kids and my job, it's hard to find something else at this point. Maybe I will pick it up when the kids are out of the house in 15 years, but right now, no, just games for now.
I think fantasy football is really a hobby, though.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
So maybe we do that.
Yeah.
That's a nice little getaway.
It really is.
You could be really busy at work and you decide I'm gonna take 10 or 15 minutes and just chill. You get on your fantasy and look at what's going on or whatever. Yeah. I just brought this topic up because I wanted to say that I'm 3-0. Andrew Luck's book club 3-0.
Weird
baby.
flex, but okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I dropped the first game this year for me, so I'm 2-1. However, being 2-1, I am in third place.
Yes, you are.
So not far behind.
Nice. Yeah.
Melvin Gordon's coming back.
Is he?
Next week. He came back.
How about
He's
that?
He's coming back to practice tomorrow, so he's not going
gave
to be able
up?
to play Sunday, but he's going to come back next Sunday.
That's good news. You have Austin Eckler though, so
Yeah, there's no
Still,
change in
you've
my
been getting all those
fantasy team,
points
man.
anyways.
It's like they just started talking Japanese. I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
heard.
what it was.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, video gaming is my, I guess, other hobby. Because I would say music, but technically I kind of sort of do that for a living. So, yeah, I would say gaming's my other big hobby. Faux show.
For me, also gaming. That's definitely the number one hobby. I guess this is gonna not sound like a hobby, but it's something that I do every day. And I get on OneDrive that's on my phone, and I look at all the pictures that I have from the past on this day, on each day, and then sometimes I write about it. Sometimes if it's involving another person, I send them a message and say, hey, do you remember this? In 2011, we did this, blah, blah, blah. And I use it as like a hobby / connection point to connect with people, both in Brazil and in the U.S. So I would say that's kind of a hobby because I just find it enjoyable. I don't do it for any other reason other than I just like it. So
That's a good one.
that's what I got.
Okay.
Next lightning round question is aioli just hipster mayonnaise?
Is that a question?
What's that? What happened?
No.
God bless you.
I've heard the word before, but I have no idea what it is.
I thought when I read the first part is Aloy, I thought he was talking about Horizon Zero Dawn, but he was not. He was talking about
Is
mayonnaise.
Aloy a mayonnaise?
Not with that red hair. All right. What kind of food have you fallen in love with later in life? Indian may be some of my favorite meals today.
Did you also know that mayonnaise is in the Redneck Dictionary? Mayonnaise, a lot of people up in here tonight.
Hey!
Hey-o.
Wow. Okay. Initiate.
I feel good getting that one
First
off.
she had a big old
Waiting
piece of
all
pie.
year for that one.
Initiate. Something else.
I've been waiting 5 years for that joke.
And then it just played out perfectly. Good job, Mike Doherty. Shiplig or Splig or Shipalig.
So, a food that we have fallen in love with later in life.
Yep.
I'm liking sauerkraut lately. I never liked
I
it
do
as
love
a kid.
sauerkraut.
When I was a kid, and this is going to be a shocker, did not like Mexican food.
Whoa.
Oh.
What?
Yep.
Have you
Make it
confessed
up for
this
it.
to La Carreta?
No, because I'm a changed man now.
That's good. Glad to hear that.
I'm a changed man. Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
I really like onions, and I hated onions when I was a kid. I don't think I could eat an onion like an apple, but I really love to pile on the onion on a hamburger.
If you
or
like onions,
steak.
do you eat them like an apple?
You could.
I mean, You could, exactly.
You could.
I probably could eat an onion like an apple. I really like
You
onions.
could if you were.
I mean, if it's if it's like a sweet Vidalia onion or something
They
that's
did
got a
it in
little sweetness
Shrek.
to it, yeah. That's
Oh,
good enough
so
reason
that
to do
makes it okay. Okay.
Yep.
It's all about the layers. Layers.
What about parfait?
I have
All
to
right.
say that I always ate like, I never like, I guess I wasn't one of those kids that was like really picky and would only eat like a few things. I feel like I've always just been okay with most things. But I can't think of one specific thing that like later in life that I decided, oh yeah, I actually do like that. All the things I didn't like as kids, I still don't really like.
Like
Olives.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh,
I don't think I'm
olives
ever
are
gonna
the
like
worst.
That's probably the grossest thing ever.
Yet, olive
rather eat
oil.
dirt.
Olive oil is a staple to cooking.
That's
Yet
fine.
olives are disgusting.
Yeah, but olive oil and olives, not even close.
Two different
I
consistencies.
don't even think they're the same thing. I think it's not real.
Well, that's like
I don't think that oil's really from olives.
me,
Yeah.
and I have pretty much all my life.
And Marc oil?
Just like me.
Me, Marc and Marc oil.
Yes, that's it.
Two different things.
No,
Now I wasn't big on Marc oil when I was young, but man, it's pretty good now.
I'm glad you turned yourself around on that.
I'm a man now. I'm a changed man.
No, as I was saying,
There's a lot of hair in the Marc oil.
A real boy.
all right, guys, have a great week. I'm gonna get off the. No, as I was saying, no, it's like ever since I was a kid, I've absolutely hated tomatoes, but I love
Oh, yeah.
ketchup.
Yep.
You still don't like tomatoes?
Still don't like tomatoes.
Man, I
I
love
think-
tomatoes.
so
That
when
is
you
actually
have-
one thing that I could
I
eat
love
like an
tomatoes
apple.
too.
When you have BLTs, do you have just BLs?
That sounds like a gastrointestinal issue. Man, my BL's acting up.
No, I just don't have BLTs.
What?
Go straight for the
You
bacon.
ever eat just a bacon sandwich? Just a beef?
You're not an American.
No. that
I would
sounds
actually be
glorious.
okay with that.
That does sound good.
We'll go make a bacon sandwich.
I'm gonna go
Let me
eat
ask
a
you this
bee.
question: Have you guys ever
You're gonna go
eaten?
eat a bee?
Have you guys ever eaten? Dang it! I'm making a bee right now.
How about we make some bees tonight? We love for that.
You guys ever eat cottage cheese and tomatoes, Lucas?
No, but I would totally eat that.
It
I
is
love
so good. You have no
I love
idea.
putting food in cottage cheese. Love it.
It is cottage cheese and tomatoes is like one of my favorite things. Like
Yum.
it is so good. Like
I'm
the
doing it.
combination, it sounds
do it right
really
now.
weird, but if you like both of them together, they are awesome.
I'm gonna respectfully bow out of that one.
So, I do not like cottage cheese, but it's not like it's the worst thing in the world. So, with your tomatoes, do you slice them? Are they cherry tomatoes? What do you do with that?
I've had both. I like both.
Ooh, cherry
Like
tomatoes.
right now,
I like when they explode.
Right now, I have the cherry tomatoes, and I like to get
Yes.
like some cottage cheese and like a whole cherry tomato and eat those together.
I like to throw mine away.
That's terrible. You buy them and then you throw them away. This is what's wrong with the world today,
Yeah,
Mark.
you should just not buy them.
Well, typically, what I will do is
Dave Ramsey will help you out with that.
Yeah, he will.
Step one.
He'll have an envelope just for buying tomatoes and then throwing them away.
No, actually, I try to spare people. Like if I'm at Burger King or something like that, I'll just say no tomato. That way, the tomato can go to someone who wants it.
If you get a tomato, will you pick it off and still eat the sandwich, or just like once the tomato's on the sandwich, it's
I
over?
can pick it off and eat the sandwich.
Okay.
If we go out to eat sometime, can I have your tomato?
Yeah, we just need to go out to eat sometime.
I feel
do.
like
Okay.
if they put like an olive on whatever it is your meal, you can taste the olive through the whole meal. If it's
Oh,
been
yeah.
there, it's over.
Ronnie, they put olives on pizza in Brazil, like a garnish, and it covers some pizzas. It's
You can get like most of the Supreme
Terrible.
pizzas when you order them here in the States, like they
Oh.
will come with like olives on them, and
Black
all I can
olives.
taste is if I ever eat a piece of pizza with an olive on it, all I can taste is the olive.
That is correct.
It completely overpowers every single thing on the pizza. It's
does.
gross.
Yeah.
Speaking of food, Mike Doherty continued. Impossible Whopper? Question mark. It's legit.
My wife actually had the Impossible Whopper, and she loves it. And I actually got to try some of it. And
I don't know what he's talking about.
So,
I was even in
it
the U.S.
is-
for the past
it's
3
not-
months, and I missed it.
the Impossible Whopper is basically a meatless burger. It's basically a veggie burger.
It's like a veggie patty,
Yeah.
right?
And it's not that bad.
Oh.
It's actually okay.
Is it like way better for you, or
Yes.
is it just for people that don't eat meat?
It probably is better for you. I mean, I don't know how much better for you, but
Probably still horrible.
apparently they can't classify it as fully vegan because they cook it in the same place where they cook, normal burgers.
Bacon grease.
I don't know, but they cook it in the same thing, so they can't classify it as fully vegan. But I mean, close enough.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's not that bad. It actually has a bit of a smoky taste to it, which is interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, not bad.
All right, last question for Mike Doherty's lightning round with us. That's,
Yes.
as usual, not a lightning round.
Killing it.
Uh-huh. Who struggles the most with keeping it a family-friendly show? Raunchy Ronnie, Purple Patrick, Mischievous Marc, or Lewd Lucas?
I don't think Lucas and lewd have been in the same sentence ever.
I got to be
Just now.
honest. I got to be
I don't
honest.
know.
I've done more editing about Lucas than any of us.
Yeah, that's true. No, I take that back.
I don't know what you're talking about, guys. It's called Kill the Man.
I
I
do
don't
feel
know what
like
else to tell you.
it's always a surprise when it comes from you.
True.
Yep,
I will say,
it is.
I am on my best behavior on the show. I think everybody here knows pre-show and post-show Ronnie, maybe a little different.
It's true.
I'm on very good behavior.
Yep. If only you could describe some of the memes and GIFs that you've sent to us.
That's a different
On our group.
podcast. That is a different
Mhm.
podcast.
One
That
day
is a much
we'll have
different
a
podcast.
unedited, uncut, raw Ronnie.
feel like-
uncensored.
Once they listen to that, they may not want to listen to me anymore.
Oh goodness.
No guarantees of what would happen.
Remember last time Mark was editing, I was like, "Are we on yet?" They're like, "No." So then I yelled a horrible word, and I was like, just had to get that out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mark had to edit it.
Deleted.
Yes. So to answer your question, Mike, Ronnie has the greatest potential, but I usually do not have a filter when I talk.
Turns that.
I just think you
sexual
don't know
energy.
what the boundary necessarily is on certain things, and you just cross over without
He
thinking.
just tap dances over it.
And then we all have this like shocked look on our face, like, "What? What did he say?"
I was cleaning up the memory on my hard drive, and I came across all of our past episodes, and that's like taking up the most memory on my hard drive. And I'm looking through what I can delete, and I found like old outtake clips. And so I was listening to them like, oh man, these could not be aired.
Nice. On the Twitter sphere, Channel Surfing Pod, at Channel Surfing Pod. If you could have any animal as a pet, what would you choose?
A falcon.
I feel like there's two pieces to this question because I love dogs and I will always probably choose dogs. But I feel like if we turn it into outside of the normal household animals,
That's
would
what
we
I'm
have?
looking at. Yeah.
Any
Yeah,
animal.
that's what I'm
That's
feeling.
exactly right.
Yep, sticking with the falcon.
I always thought it'd be awesome to have like a pet skunk. You know, obviously like he's de-skunked, but nobody knows that, and you just like walking him on a leash down the sidewalk,
But
and
if you-
everybody's freaking out.
Okay, I could see that. Like,
All right. Well, then,
kind of
if
as a
we're gonna go
practical
down
joke.
that route, I would like a raccoon.
That would seem cool, but they would be able to get into everything
Trash
in your
panda.
house. Like there'd be nothing off limits. They'd be in your refrigerator at night.
All right. How about
I
this
would
one?
want.
What?
T-Rex.
Velociraptor.
Yeah, Velociraptor
Hear me
out, hear me
riding
out
the
on
So they're
Velociraptor. Yeah, that's that my mind went to. What can I have as a pet that I can also ride like a horse? So I'm thinking a polar bear. That would be awesome because it
I
would
feel
be
like
big
you'd
enough.
be worried about that polar bear eating your entire family while you slept.
No, he's my pet, and
He's
he'll
tame.
listen to me.
He's a pet. Right?
I mean, a raccoon's just going to go through all your stuff and probably steal all the shiny stuff. A polar bear could murder you brutally. Ask Patrick. He fought a bear.
He's not going to.
It's
So I'm going
it's
with polar bear.
dangerous.
That reminds me of a comic I saw today, where this dude's sitting on the couch, and his wife pops in and she says, "Hey, honey, where do we put the trash?" And he says, "Oh, yeah, outside, right outside the door." And he stops. "Wait a minute, I don't have a wife." And he pulls the head off the lady, and it's a raccoon in a female face.
Wait a minute, I don't have a wife.
A wife.
Dude, I have raccoons that literally visit my garage every single night. I leave the garage door cracked, and they come in and they will eat like the cat food. So I actually installed a cat door on the side of my house, and the raccoons are too fat to get through it.
Ronnie, I'll have you know that a couple weeks ago, a certain guy that I was traveling with in Indiana, he taught me how to end the lives of raccoons in several different ways. Because
I always feel like
I
that's
guess he's
horrible.
taken out.
What
he's
a
taken
nice
out
guy.
during the summer. He said he's taken out 8 of them so far.
I feel like I would
Imagine.
just like place them somewhere else if I were to catch them. But here's the thing: how do you catch a raccoon and not catch your own cats in whatever trap you've set?
Oh yeah, I don't think this guy has cats. He set a trap that
That's the trick.
I guess his friend told him that you can combine a certain amount of
Yep,
like
this is
foods
horrible.
and sugars and stuff, and it attracts just raccoons for some reason. And then he
I feel like you
proceeded
could
to
set out a Twinkie wrapper and they'll be there.
Yeah, pretty much. You could set out like a little mini trash can and just put some trash in it, and then they'll just see it and be like, "Ooh, a trash can."
Hashtag save the trash
Yeah.
pandas.
He was telling us the way he was ending their lives, and he had a very large smile on his face, and it made me kind of nervous. But glad that I was not a
Serial
raccoon.
murderer start.
He was, at one point, he's like, "Yeah, that raccoon just stuck his mouth right on the gun tip, and I blew its head off." And I was like,
Isn't
"Oh
that
my."
like step
See,
one of a
that's pretty rough.
psychopath?
Like, I don't even kill
Step
bugs
one
that
of
are
a
in my
psychopath.
house. I try to
He's-
let them go.
And he said that, and he was like, and it felt really good. And I'm like, "Oh my."
Wow.
And that's when you went back to Brazil. You're like, all right, I'm
That
out
is
of here.
correct. And I'm like, you know what?
You
think
know what?
I'm
I
good.
leave tomorrow. Yeah,
I'm good.
new
I
schedule.
leave tomorrow. I'll just sleep somewhere else.
Yep.
No, I
All
don't
right.
even kill bugs, man. So I feel like I don't want to trap them. I don't want to kill them. Like
Yeah.
it's fine. They do steal the cat bowls every now and then, which that really pisses me off. When they steal the cat bowls, like they actually take the
Does
whole
it?
thing. They take the bowl with them, and I've replaced like 4 or 5 cat bowls.
Freaking kleptomaniacs.
Oh man. Somewhere they've made
Yeah,
like
there's thieves,
wall
man.
of
That's
cat
why they got those
bowls.
little masks on.
It's true. All right, last question. KY Gaming Guy at Jarrett9121 on Twitter said, asked, he didn't say he asked, if you could be in a fictional world, any fictional world, what would you choose?
Dude, the world of Star Wars, I'm telling you, it's awesome.
I'd be down for that.
Only if you were a Jedi, though. I feel like only if you could be a Jedi.
I would be a Jedi.
Well, I mean, you don't get to choose if you're a Jedi. It depends on what your midichlorian count is.
We don't talk about those.
I've already checked. It's really high.
I believe
It's
you.
like 1 million. Yoda has nothing on me. Yes.
But that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I'm gonna
Also,
just-
the
I'm
Avatar
gonna go ahead
world,
and say
awesome.
yes. Both of those are good.
Yeah.
Alien worlds, yeah, and you can just hang out there, use the Force, become blue people. It's all good.
Crossover. Star Wars Avatar.
Use the Force as a blue person. That would be amazing.
Whoa. You
That's
became
my
there.
answer.
Hello,
That's my answer.
Avatar and Star Wars. Mix them together. Connecting hair and using the Force.
Connecting hair. Yep.
Yep, I'm going Star Wars. I can't really think of anything else, so
Yeah.
Star Wars.
No.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope
That
all
works
those random questions got you guys warmed up. Do I have a volunteer on who wants to lead the way? After that, good luck following those questions.
I think Mark said he wanted to go first.
Did I?
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so my topic for the week is
I thought you were going to say for the win. I was like, oh, it's a competition.
also for the win.
My
Come on,
topic
all right.
for the win.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a win.
I'm scoring here. All right, let's
So
go.
Write it down.
for those playing at home, no, I'm just kidding. But no, my brother and sister-in-law, they constantly talk all the time about the Myers-Briggs test and people's personality types.
Love it.
They are like, oh yeah, I think this guy's an ISFJ, or he could be an ESTP, or something weird like that.
Wow, is that what they
That's the way
say?
they conversate.
Yes.
You know what?
Nerds.
I mean, that's not literally the way they talk the whole time. I mean,
Oh, okay.
That's like they're sitting at, people like Walmart, watch, like sit on the bench, just watch Walmart people. I feel like that's what those people are. Like they're just sitting, all right, they're ISTJ.
Yeah, I want to know if they
there.
pick up, kind of try to pick people up with that and be like, how you doing? I think you're an ROTC.
first of all, I don't think my brother and sister-in-law are in the business of picking people up. So
Well, you never know.
I guess I don't.
Maybe on the weekends. I mean, if they're SRTPs, they might.
Wow. Okay. So
Is that not a thing?
steering the ship back in
MLB
the right direction.
PA.
So for those who might not be familiar, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI, which is what we're talking about, is basically this personality test that you can take. It was constructed by two Americans, Catherine Cook Briggs and her daughter Isabel Briggs Myers.
Meyer.
The MBTI is
Guessed it right.
based on a conceptual theory proposed by Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung or Jung. I don't know if that's however you pronounce it.
It's Jung.
Is it Jung?
It's Hyung.
Jung. And basically they have you take this test, ask you a bunch of questions, and they separate the personality profile into 4 categories. Each category having one or the other. So you can make a possibility of 16 different personality profiles. The 4 categories are introversion and extroversion, sensing and intuition, thinking or feeling, and judging or perception. And those 4 categories make up your profile. So, what I have asked the other gentlemen here on the Good Morning Guys podcast to do is to take the Myers-Briggs personality test, and I'm hoping that people actually took the test and actually looked up their personality profile and give a little bit of a description of the personality type that they got. So I will go ahead and start. So I am the ISFP.
I don't believe you.
Well, that's not my problem.
I was testing you. I'm glad you stand behind your decision.
Mm-hmm. So the ISFP is known as, it can be either be the adventurer or the artist. I've heard it referred to as. So my profile, it says people with the adventurer personality type are relaxed and warm, and their live and let live attitude naturally makes them likable and popular. It says I'm sensitive to others. Adventurers easily relate to others' emotions, helping them to establish harmony and goodwill and minimize conflict. That's a big one for me. I think I've mentioned on the podcast that I hate conflict. Can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
Try to avoid it. Imaginative, being so aware of others' emotions. Adventurer personalities use creativity and insight to craft bold ideas that speak to people's hearts. While it's hard to explain this quality on a resume, this vivid imagination and an exploratory spirit help adventurers in unexpected ways. And trying to keep it short, says I am passionate. When people in this personality type are caught up in something exciting and interesting, they can leave everything else in the dust. Curious. Ideas are well and good, but adventurers need to see and explore for themselves whether ideas ring true. It also says I am artistic, which I definitely exercise that muscle. Whether it be, music or I actually draw as well. That's more for fun, though. I kind of put art on the back burner. And in terms of that, and putting music towards the front. Apparently it says I'm unpredictable. I don't know about that. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically my profile in a nutshell. There's other aspects to it, but I won't read everything verbatim. Excuse me. So Lucas.
Hi.
What is your personality? Oh, wait! Before I go to you, Lucas.
No, I was ready. Dang it!
You will wait, sir. So I also asked you guys to look up celebrities that are associated with your profile type, and a quick Google search can lead you to that.
It's really easy.
Yes, it literally, if you type in your personality type and celebrities, Google provides it for you. So the list of some of the celebrities who are ISFPs are John Travolta, Steven Spielberg, Barbara Streisand, Brooke Shields, Kevin Costner, Mozart, and several others that I won't mention. I think Liberace's on there too.
Oh, yeah. That definitely seals the deal with Liberace, Marc.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely have
I can
that
see Brooke
flair.
Shields, for sure.
I could definitely see Barbara Streisand because you have a similar voice range.
Sure.
For sure.
And a funky nose like she
like
does.
an angel.
Not so much a Jewish nose, but,
I don't know.
You don't know.
Can you explain?
Okay. But yeah, that's basically my personality type in a nutshell. Lucas,
Cool.
go ahead.
Well, I took this test 18 years ago, and what's fun about this is that I find that I've taken it multiple times since then, just for fun, just to see what pops up, and I find for the most part, 9 times out of 10, it sticks with my original after 18 years, and I am known as the champion or campaigner, an ENFP, extroverted, intuitive, feeling perceiver. And what's funny is, before I get into the details of that and share my celebrities, is my wife is the exact opposite. She is an ISTJ, and we are yin and yang. We complete each other. Some would say we're opposites and it shouldn't work out, but we disagree. And
Opposites
it's kind of cool.
Attract.
That's right. So it says about an ENFP that we are people-centered creators with a focus on possibilities and a contagious enthusiasm for new ideas, people, and activities. We are energetic, warm, and passionate. We love to help other people and explore their creative potential as well. We are typically agile. I'm not very agile in this old age of mine, but no, that's
Are they talking
not what they mean.
physical agility?
No, they're not.
Did you take an agility test also?
Yep, I did. I was like, hoo-ha.
No
Jumping through my
parkour.
It
living
says
room.
backflips while we record the podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, it says we are typically agile and expressive communicators, using our wit, humor, and mastery of language, too bad I was born in West Virginia, to create engaging stories. We're also imaginative and original, and often have a strong artistic side. We are drawn to art because of its ability to express inventive ideas and create a deeper understanding of human experience. Now, I wrote down the percentages, and my strongest percentage is in the feeling category. The opposite of that one is the thinking. Thank you. And I definitely can see that. I usually feel my way through, like, as an emotion. I emotionally feel my way through most situations. I don't think my way through. I use like when it's some of the questions were like, do you like to use logic to get through situations? And I'm like, not really. I just feel it out and just kind of like try to see where my emotions are, where someone else's emotions are. One quote that went with an ENFP I thought was really cool, and just kind of it kind of paints a picture. And this is a quote by Uriah Mountain Dreamer. I have no idea who that is. But they said this: "It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, and for the adventure of being alive." And I just really like that kind of very unique perspective that quote I completely agree with. So I really connect with the ENFP. And my famous friends are Robert Downey Jr., I love you 3000, Mark Twain, Dr. Seuss, and Robin Williams. I like it. I like it a lot. And that's it. That's all I got. So, Ronnie, what you got?
Well,
let's hear it.
I actually took this test earlier this year. So the funny thing is when I think I probably took it about 4 or 5 months ago. So when I started dating Elizabeth, she was curious as to what my personality type was. So she's taken it a couple different times. Her personality is an introverted personality. I don't remember the specific one. Mine is, let's see, I got it saved here, ESFP. And it says ESFP-A/ESFP-T. So where I'm getting this information specifically is the 16 Personalities website, 16personalities.com. I'll read just a brief conclusion. The funny thing is when Marc texted this earlier, I said I've already taken that, and I sent him a screenshot where it says entertainer, and he said, "Of course you are."
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
So, in conclusion, what it basically says is few personality types are as charming and attractive as entertainers, known for their ability to improvise and focus completely on the present. Entertainers are great at finding new and exciting things to explore and experience. Entertainers' energy and enthusiasm and down-to-earth attitude are invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth. One really interesting thing that Elizabeth and I did after we took these tests is you can actually you can take the two different personality types and see what like the strengths and weaknesses would be in a relationship between two people of that kind. And it was really interesting. One of the main things that always stuck out to me is, and I will say before I even say that, is this personality test, I was very, very shocked at how close it is. In reading everything on there, I was like, wow, that actually was so close that I was very surprised. I did not think that it would be. In reading all the information about it, like it goes over work life, home life, all of these things. And it definitely like nailed my personality type. Mm-hmm. But the interesting part was with her having an introverted personality and me having an extroverted personality. One of the main things was when we are solving problems. So the entertainer personality type will solve their problems and make decisions based on emotions and feelings. Mm-hmm. Her personality type will make decisions based on facts and information. It will be very, I don't want to say like cut and dry, but emotion would not be a part of that decision making.
Yep.
So it's interesting. And like as we've obviously gotten further in our relationship, like that totally is definitely a thing. I don't necessarily look at facts. If I'm like trying to make a decision, I make decisions on how I feel every day. It's just, I'd never thought that a personality type I would like fall right into that category, but it's totally true. I don't look at facts and like actual information before like I will make a decision. I will make that decision based on emotion, and that was a big part of the entertainer personality type. Not only is it like an outgoing, or like a really outgoing personality type, that's like out there and friendly with everybody, but it is largely emotional. And that is, in all honesty, how I make a lot of my decisions in life. It's not necessarily based on facts. It's based on how I feel.
You definitely look
Yep.
at facts on this podcast, though, and you let us know about them all the time.
Yeah, I do. I do. They are good.
They
But
are
yeah, it was.
entertaining.
There was a couple of things in there that, like enthusiasm, like down to earth. It also one of the things I thought was interesting, and it really like, yeah, I was like, man, that is kind of me. And it said like an entertainer personality type basically likes to get the most out of whatever it is, whether that be an adventure, they're easygoing, it's easy to get them out of their comfort zone to do something. And I'm very much that way. I will do something that I've never done, and I won't really think twice about doing it. I won't be nervous to do that or anything like that. I would just go along with it. Whatever it is, like I just like to experience stuff. And that was very much, it really spelled that out in the actual description.
Nice.
Cool.
Patrick, what are you?
Well, for me, I am just like Mindy. I am an ISTJ. And the ISTJ is the introversion, sensing, thinking, judging. So brief description is serious and quiet, interested in security and peaceful living, extremely thorough, responsible, and dependable, well-organized and hardworking. They work steadily towards identified goals. They can usually accomplish any task once they have set their mind to it. And when I read that, I'm like, wow, that is me. Like how many questions with this? Like 60 to 70 questions. And based on those questions, they're able to determine in one paragraph who I am. It was wild just reading that.
I didn't feel like
kind
it
of
was
stuff.
enough questions. As accurate as it was, I was like, man, I don't know how they got that from that like minimal amount of questions. I feel like I need to ask somebody like 1,000 questions in order to figure this out. But like you answered like a minimum amount of questions, and it was like, wow, I cannot believe based on those questions that was the description.
Yeah, the actual certified questionnaire or test is, I think it's over 120 or so questions. It's like a thick book with a lot of questions, and that's the one I did in college. And it's incredible how it can describe you. And
Yeah, it's wild.
accurately based off a bunch of random
crazy.
questions.
And the exact opposite of you, Lucas. So I am ISTJ. My wife is ENFP.
Is she really?
Yeah,
That
which
is awesome.
Which is crazy because
That's amazing.
what's cool about that is because we are so opposite, we always have a different outlook on certain situations, issues, things that come up, how to raise kids, what to do, things like that. And we always give each other different perspectives of things we wouldn't look at. Because if we were both the same personality, we couldn't. I don't think we would be able to see others' opinions, other people, what other people think, because we would be in our own box.
It would be easier to get along, but you wouldn't. I don't think you would be able to have success as a couple because you would be so like handicapped because you wouldn't have the ability, for example, to just sit at home in quietness and like appreciate, being introverted, or you wouldn't be able to think through the facts. Like I'm like Ronnie, like I feel my way through everything, and I'm just like, you know what, this doesn't feel right. I don't care what the facts are. I'm just going to go forward in faith, or I'm going to not do it because something doesn't feel. And Mindy is like all about the facts, like Ronnie was talking about it with his girl, like just the facts, the details. That's what we base it on. And I'm sure you kind of have that same kind of perspective. And you have to learn to respect each other's side of things, because then you can grow from it. So it's important.
Right. And because, my wife would say, have you thought about this? And have you thought about it this way? And I'm like, no, I never even thought about that. That's actually a good point, because I'm thinking logically, and she's thinking about someone's feelings or how to feel in a certain situation. It's really cool how both of our personalities work together, because of the things I wouldn't even think of. Because if we have the same personalities, we're like, okay, this is the way it is. We agree. Then, because when you're husband and wife, you kind of like, you talk to each other, you understand each other's perspective, you make concessions, or you compromise on certain things because you never saw it another way. And it's really cool that we found out that we have the opposite personalities, and like I said, opposites attract. That's probably why we work so well together, because we not only our personalities are different, but we have the ability to compromise.
Man, at one point I knew what Kristen's profile was, what her personality type is, but I am not remembering it at the moment, so I will have to ask her when I see her tomorrow.
Go do it right now.
She's kind of sleeping.
What is your personality type? Just tell me.
Wake her
just
up.
Tell me
grab
real
her
fast.
shoulders. Be like, hey.
Psst. Psst. Personality type. Just tell me real quick.
She'll just feel like, shut up.
TJ,
turn over.
You know what? You know
Is
what a
it
funny thing
NFL?
to look at also is what do you think your friends are? Because like my close group of friends, I feel like almost every single one of them is introverted.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
that's why they're attracted to you.
And I think
They're like,
that
I don't
too,
have
like,
to be extroverted. He can do it all.
like hearing that about you, Patrick, that you're technically like more of an introvert. What do you think Chris is?
He's an extrovert.
By a lot, I think.
Yeah.
And it's
for
funny
sure.
how the opposites like attract, and
Yep.
it's funny to look at your friend group and think like, wow, they are actually, their personality type is not like mine at all.
So yeah, if I hung out with 100% introverted people, I don't know if I would hang out with them.
Yeah, none of you would want to hang
because
out with each other. You'd be like, I need to go home and be alone.
I'm at a 44 introversion. So I'm like on the cusp of like being extrovert versus introvert. So it's like Chris kind of pushes me over the edge kind of thing, where, okay, he can make me extroverted when I'm with him. If I'm with another introverted, then it's like way down. But do you know who else is an ISTJ? Commissioner Gordon.
What?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the celebrities thing.
Yes, the not
Commissioner
real
Gordon
person
also-
celebrity.
He's a real person.
Cerberus Snape.
Whoa.
Did you say Cerberus?
I don't know what his name is.
Severus.
Severus.
Severus? Server.
Uh-oh, Cerberus Snape.
mainframe
Cerberus Snape is down. We better
Snape.
reboot the system.
I think we should probably reboot by turning to page 394.
So, Lucas, some of the entertainer celebrities that I found
Uh-huh.
include Katy
Cedric.
Perry,
Yeah.
Elvis Presley,
Ooh.
James Brown, Tommy Lee. They're all obviously performers, and Nicki Minaj. You'd be happy to know.
The retired
Be
Nicki
happy.
Minaj.
I'm glad.
Impressive.
See here, politicians: Ronald Reagan.
Ooh, I had Bill Clinton.
I have Bill
didn't
Clinton.
mention him.
I have Bill Clinton on here too.
I had George Washington.
What? They're
Whoa.
double dipping. Bill Clinton's in the
How about-
NFP.
How about businessmen? Mark Cuban, Hugh Hefner, and then actors, entertainers: Will Smith. I would have guessed that one actually.
Hugh Hefner and Will Smith in the same sentence. I like it.
Andy Sandberg.
Cool beans.
Nine.
Cool.
Athletes: Serena Williams, Magic Johnson, and then writers, artists, Tony Robbins, and Michelangelo.
Tony Robbins, like the
Ninja Turtle,
self-help
right?
guy, Tony Robbins?
It says writers and artists. I would assume that's
I
the same
think
Tony
what was
Robbins.
mine? Donatello. Dang it.
I didn't know Michelangelo the Ninja Turtle was a writer.
Ooh, fictional characters here.
Catwoman.
Oh, I gotta look up
Yeah, the
fictional.
fictional characters
No,
are the best.
she's an
Princess
introvert.
Anna. I don't even know who that is.
Frozen.
Is that from Frozen?
Never seen it.
Then yes.
Homer Simpson.
Nah.
Oh, here we go. Simba.
Ah, Chevenya.
Finnick from the Hunger Games.
Nice.
I was thinking Fennec from Princess Bride.
Nope. Captain Jack Harkness from Doctor Who.
Oh,
Mark.
thought it was going to be
Sparrow.
Sparrow.
Nice.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
I wish that.
So close.
Captain Jack Swallow.
Michael Scott from The Office.
Yes.
That's all I got. Fred and George Weasley from Harry Potter.
All right, here you go. Arya Stark is an ISFP. Aowen from Lord of the Rings. Let's see. Ant-Man apparently is an ISFP.
I could see that. He spent all that time in that van.
Also, apparently T'Challa is. Black Panther.
That's weird because he's a king.
Yeah.
But
Kings need their time alone.
it's fair.
I think I'm seeing that Dumbledore is one, too. Samwise Gamgee is one. And, yeah, I believe Gandalf is.
Go Gandalf.
I got Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano
Excuse you.
from Star Wars.
God bless me. Ooh, yeah, from Star Wars. I got Ariel, part mermaid.
Look at
I
this
am.
stuff.
Look out. That's where my son gets his red hair from me.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this. Guess who else is an ENFP? I win the day. The Doctor, as in Doctor Who.
Hey!
Which one?
Hey,
All of them.
all of
They're
them.
all
Yeah.
ENFPs.
You were all the
'cause
doctors?
We rule. Oh, never mind. I got a new one. Geetkar Dylan. I don't
Excuse
know
you
who that
again.
is.
Who is that?
It's a Bollywood actor.
Oh, okay.
No, never mind.
Hollywood actor.
I got Genie. Genie from Aladdin. He is an ENFP, which ironically is Robin Williams.
maybe that's why they also got Will Smith to play him later.
Look at that.
Heyo.
It's an ESFP. Switched it out. That's all I got.
Okay.
Glad you reminded us that we were supposed to do the celebrity thing, Mark, so I could look it up while everybody else was answering.
I did the
Was
same.
anybody anybody was a ENTJ? Who was an ENTJ?
Nobody.
I think that was a NBA player.
Ha. No.
Oh, that's MJ. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I knew. I think my brother or sister-in-law was telling me like that they were talking to this guy and they found out he was an ENTJ, and they're like, "Oh yeah, so Hitler was an ENTJ." I'm like, "Ooh."
Whoa.
No, thank you.
Time to change your personality. I know they say some people never change, but some people just have to
Yep,
change.
yep. For the common good of humanity, please change. But yeah, that is my topic.
Thanks, Mark. It was a good one.
Oh, thank you.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I think
Do
it'll
it.
be. I think it'll be quick. So for the past few months, I have been working a lot. I've been working 11, 12-hour days. Sometimes I work on the weekends. I even I worked on Labor Day this past week. This past month. So I've been working a lot, and it has been stressing me out a ton. And the way that I try to unstress or de-stress is it's crazy. Like when I'm coming home, sometimes I just want to sit in silence because I need my thoughts. I don't need a podcast. I don't need music. I just need to decompress a little bit, and it helps. And then when I get home, and today I got home, I was a little bit stressed, and I came home, and the first thing my son says to me, he's like, "Hey, guess what I did today in Minecraft?" Like, didn't even say hi to me. He's like, "Guess what today?" And that was because seeing the joy in his face of how much he loves Minecraft, like, immediately just melted away the stress. But being with my kids, it is a de-stressor. Playing games and focusing on like Apex Legends. One of the reasons I like Apex Legends, it makes me focus on the game, and it doesn't allow me to think about anything else. So I'm able to like pretty much get away from the entire world and just like live in Apex Legends while talking to friends. So that's another reason why I really like Apex. It's a total de-stressor, and it gets me like an escape away from the huge amount of work that is put upon me that I'm responsible for at work. Now I do love work because I'm able to provide for my family. So I put my all into it. So my wife is able to stay home, that my kids are able to have a roof over their head, they can have what they want, kind of thing. So I kind of put it on myself, but sometimes I just need a moment. So those are the things that I do to escape, to de-stress, to get away a little bit. So my topic is just about stress. What do you guys do to de-stress? What do you guys do that really helps you escape, to not think about what is currently stressing you out, or what has been, or what always does?
So I deal with stress. I mean, everybody deals with stress, but I deal with a lot of anxiety in my life too. So the main ways that I usually de-stress, well, for quite a while, I haven't been doing it so much now, but I listen to podcasts. Now the main podcast I listen to now is Married to the Games, that I listen to on a regular basis. But I used to work a job to where, I could, put my headphones in and listen to podcasts all day long. So that was a way that helped me to de-stress quite a bit, and helped me, just like with you in Apex, it helps me to focus my mind elsewhere, because otherwise my mind will wander aimlessly.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, I listen to Married to the Games. I listen to several NPR shows that they do, like This American Life and
The Good Morning Guys, NPR.
Yes.
That is correct. The best NPR choice.
Mm-hmm. I listen to other gaming podcasts like Gamertag Radio and stuff like that. I've listened to Doctor Who podcasts like Radio Free Scaro, stuff like that. Tech podcasts, like I listen to a lot of what are they called? It's called the TWIT Network. It stands for This Week in Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it British?
It's not.
The Twit?
It's not.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just curious.
It's actually based out of California. But I used to listen to podcasts all the time. That and gaming definitely helps me to unwind and focus my mind. Watching YouTube videos, because I'll just pull that up or watching Twitch, I'll pull that up on the PS4 and just lay back and watch those, just because it gets my mind off of whatever I'm stressing about.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I find myself doing the same thing as far as like throwing on Twitch, and most of the time it's Apex.
Yeah.
If I'm not able to play, I'll throw on, just like if my wife was watching a show and and I'm not feeling gaming, I'll throw on Twitch and just watch someone else game.
I saw you were watching Vis the
either.
other day.
What's
I saw
that?
you were watching Vis the other day.
Yeah, he is unbelievable.
Yeah, that whole
like it was just like every match he would get like 4,000 damage, which my highest damage is like 1579. And he is just crushing it. So just watching him just obliterate people, it's cool. It's cool seeing that.
Yep.
So I totally get that. What about you, Lucas? What do you do to de-stress?
So I think I think the most consistent way, like when I'm not really like a guy that, in all honesty, for the most part, I'm not a stressed out kind of guy. Like I let things kind of roll off my shoulders. Just kind of try to be laid back most of the time. I don't get too stressed, but when I do, I think my favorite go-to is to just go to sleep. Like almost like a reboot, or like you know what? I just need to take a break from life, so I'm going to just go unconscious for the next hour. And it really works sometimes. Like if I get to the end of a day and I know I didn't, I missed out on some stuff, or I wasn't able to accomplish some things, I was disappointed in myself or life or whatever. I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. And I just go to sleep. And every single time I wake up, I'm not like, I don't have amnesia, or I know I have light case of dementia, but it's not something that, like, I'm aware of my dementia, so therefore I don't have dementia. I just feel better. And so sleeping is probably my favorite way. When I realize that, escaping is not sufficient, like video games is another one. I think, we've discussed it enough on here that we're well aware that, for many of us, for most of us, video games are entertainment. For all of us, entertainment for sure is an escape. It's a no-brainer. Watching movies, watching shows. But when I know it's time to deal with it, which should happen for all of us. Like if we're just escaping all of our lives, then we're setting ourselves up for failure, because the stress that we feel, the pain that we feel, the things that we don't want to communicate because we're afraid of them, or we don't want to hurt anyone, that stuff is going to show itself in other ways, even if we try to escape and release in a relaxing way. And so the best way that I can de-stress is just to talk it out. Like I am not a sit and think things through and deal with it, as we talked about, and as Ronnie mentioned for himself as well, I'm a feeler. Like I have emotions, and I need to just say them sometimes and to just empty myself. So I think just talking, usually I have to find someone who I trust, because sometimes I just need to go unscripted, no filter, saying whatever's on my mind, and I'll realize, that maybe I don't need to be stressed about it. I'll realize this isn't something I can control, so there's no reason to be stressed. So really just talking it out, just talking it through, even if the person just listens. They don't need to give me advice. They don't need to fix me or fix what I'm thinking. Sometimes I just need to say it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I got it. And so I would say those are my top ways of de-stressing. How about you, Ronnie?
Mine is actually similar. So for me, like, I know a lot of people like to get into a video game or, watch a movie or something, just almost like as a distraction. For me, like, and one thing that's become like really, I guess, great, like over the past 4 or 5 months, is if either I'm having like a stressful day or Elizabeth's having a stressful day, like I'll just send her like a message, or she'll send me something, and it'll just say like wine and movie ? And it's like, it's been one of those days. So we will come home, like her and I will open like a bottle of wine, and we'll sit there and like just chat and watch a movie. And it's nice. It's nice for me, I don't think the best way necessarily is just that solitary, anything really solitary. Like a lot like you, Lucas, I like to almost have somebody there to kind of just bounce things off of and talk about it. Like that makes it, like that helps me like relieve stress, rather than, just kind of getting in getting into something like a video game or a movie. Like just having that person there that you can come home and like talk to, I guess, is a big difference. I think before when I wasn't dating anybody, I would definitely have used like the video game scenario or a movie or something like that, just to kind of zone out, and give your mind a break from all of that stuff. But I found more recently that it's, just like talking about your day, whatever you're stressed about, or maybe not even talking about that, just talking about other things, almost as a distraction a little bit. So, but yeah, it's similar to the way you would handle that.
Yeah, I one thing that I had a really bad day. I think it was Monday this week, and I was walking back to my desk, and one of my coworkers saw me. Apparently, I was walking in a different way than I normally walk, and he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And when he said that, I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, this dude actually cares about what I'm going through, even though he doesn't know really what I'm going through. And that kind of made me feel a little better, knowing that someone actually cared about me as I'm stressing.
Right.
It didn't go any further than that, but then we just started chatting about random things.
Yeah.
So I definitely get like the even if you're not talking about the actual issue, just like talking about random things, and not necessarily the issue, it kind of helped.
I think it's just kind of giving your mind a break, really.
Yeah.
Either way, whether that's like talking to somebody about whatever, or playing a video game, or watching a movie, like it just gives you a little bit of a break from the standard, like whatever it is that you're stressing about. Like it gives you a chance to like kind of like take your breath. You want to know what's funny about that is you said that they noticed like the way you were walking, and this actually that's kind of funny because it actually goes back to the personality test type thing. And one of the things about like an entertainer type personality is that they are very like they observe a lot of small details, because I guess it's more of that, being able to focus like on one thing. Because I've always like noticed a lot of like just in people in general, just little like cues and body language and things that I think a lot of people don't necessarily recognize. And I would always joke with my friends, I'm like, yeah, I'm a reader of people. Like I just like pay attention to those little bitty cues and stuff that people do that I guess is not necessarily always picked up. But it's funny that you said that, because I feel like I notice a lot of really like small things with people. And I feel like when I say that something that I notice, they're always shocked. They're like, "What?" And you're like, "Yeah, you're doing this different. You normally always do, you normally always do this." And they're like, they have that look on your face that you probably had when that guy mentioned something to you. You're like, "What?" Then you're starting to think in your head like, "What was I doing differently? Like, man, I need to make sure that I don't do that again." You know what I mean? But like, it is a very like I just pay attention to people, like people that I'm talking with, like their body language, everything, like little bitty cues that people give off that not everybody pays attention to. So it's funny that you say that, because I've actually done that to people, just not really intentionally doing that. But if it's somebody that like I know or care about, like I will just mention it, like, yeah, I noticed you're doing this. Like, are you good? Or something like that. So
yeah, like they were doing something out of the ordinary, as small as just walking back to my desk. I walked in a different manner, and this person just noticed it. So
yeah, and I think those things are easy, like for some people to pick up, and other people would never even notice a difference. I've just always been one to like watch people and how they like just little bitty things like that. And it's funny that you say that, because the same thing has happened to me. And I don't know about like you, Lucas, but like you were an entertainer personality. But one of the things I read about it was that they're very like observative when they like in social environments and things like that. And I've always been like that myself. So I always thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's in your kind of layout. The only thing that we're different is the I'm intuitive and you're sensing. So that would be where that comes from, is the sensing part.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like I'm a mind reader. So I don't observe what people do. I kind of observe how people think. And then eventually, when I reveal myself, I'll say, well, usually this is what you're thinking when you're in this situation. And usually I use that more as a pastor, as a missionary, to really help people to understand that it's okay to think and feel the way they do, and they're hiding it. And so I would say that for me, I do that, but I do it more on a relational or an emotional level, where I pay a lot of attention to the emotion of a person and what they're thinking and feeling, as opposed to the physical representation of that. So,
and that brings me to another thing that's kind of like a funny part is I do it in volleyball all the time when I'm playing against somebody. I will actually, like, whatever they, I guess, like, if they hit a shot and I'm there to cover it, I am automatically thinking, all right, next time they get the chance to hit a shot, they're not going to hit it there again because I was just there. So I'm playing this game with them. Or if they hit a shot and they get it, I'm thinking to myself, oh, they're definitely going to try that shot again. And I'm always trying to, like, counteract what I think they are actually thinking that I'm going to do. So it's a whole, like, this whole mind thing. But I'm doing that based on body language, and if they hit a shot, like the success, like how they appear, like once they hit it, like all these things.
Yeah.
And I guess. Like, I don't cover the whole court. Like, I just guess a lot. I'm already taking a step or two towards where I think they're going to hit. And that's funny because, like, I always mention to my buddy Chad that I play with, like, he'll, like, shake his head or whatever, like you're ridiculous. And I'll just look up at him after I get a ball that's like, I probably shouldn't have been there. And I just look up and I say, like, I read Blitz, which is just a scene out of the movies, The Replacements, right?
Yeah.
But I always say, like, I read Blitz, and I don't know. I do that all the time.
Nice. All right. Well, Ronnie, before you go ahead, we're going to take this up next week because we've had a lot of good things to say. In fact, too many good things to say. So we're going to do part 2 to part 4 of our randomness episode.
Sounds like a Final Fantasy game.
It does. This is GMG Randomness Part 4-2. Next week we'll be coming at you. Well, that is just for now all that we have for you in our randomly recent relayed ramblings. We will continue those next week. And if you'd like to continue to join in on the conversation, there are a number of ways that you can chat with us and our fantastic GMG community. There are links in the show notes. But if you're not about reading, I'll just tell you there is a Discord for talking about everything from video games, life, dad jokes, and more. And also there's Twitter, which some people use. It might be your cup of tea. We are at the GMG Podcast. But if you're more old school like me, then email us at, not at, don't put at yet, that comes later. thegoodmorningguys at gmail.com, like our newest friend Thomas did. He wrote this: Hi, I have a suggestion. Doctor Who. Sincerely, Thomas. Thomas, thank you so much for your very direct email and your suggestion. We appreciate it. And we might just consider that for the future, not only because you mentioned it, but because Marc, too, wants us to talk about Doctor Who at some point and not make fun of it. Honestly, that's what we do most of the time. However, I am willing to check it out. And but especially now that I know, well, make fun of it less.
Goes without saying.
Yeah, but he's an ENFP. Now that I know Doctor Who is an ENFP, I mean, I owe it to myself to support a brother. So
I'm still out.
That's all right. Slacker.
We'll give you a Doctor Who in
fan?
5 minutes.
You haven't watched it with
That's
her
all
yet?
right. We'll
Yeah,
just
she's not on
switch
this
you
podcast.
out.
True.
We'll switch you out for her, and then go
She
from
probably
there.
love that.
She,
I just told you she's introverted. She would totally not do that.
yeah, that's all right. It's all good. The final way that you can connect with us and also practice your radio voice, your NPR radio voice, is by calling us at 929-GMG Guys. Is that right, Ronnie? Did I get that right?
I don't know.
Good. Leave a message, ask a question, let your voice be heard. You know what else should be heard? Maybe this week, maybe next week, I'm not sure, is Marc's music playlist.
we'll have a part 1 and a part 2 of the
Fantastic.
Good Morning Guys morning playlist. But we'll do
What do you got?
part 1 first.
Oh, I thought you were going to do part 2 first. I'm like, that would be really fun
And random.
for you to do part 2 first, and then see if they match up with what Ronnie and I talk about next week.
Well, how do you know this isn't part 2 and I'm just messing with you?
Oh, are we in the future?
We're in the future.
You're way too organized for that kind of improv.
That is
Yeah, you're
Don't
right.
do it, Mark.
Yep.
I'd kill you.
So, Lucas, well, before I say that, as always, you can find the Good Morning Guys morning playlist on Spotify as well as Apple Music. Thank you so much, Bernabe, for keeping things up on that end while I hold up the Spotify side. And Lucas, you will enjoy this, seeing as you like to celebrate random holidays.
Country roads. Oh, sorry. Wrong song.
Nope. That's
Random
nothing.
Holidays. What is it? Let's hear it.
Happy
You have to sing it. Don't
National
tell us the title.
One-Hit Wonder Day.
Yes.
So, if you're not
Perfect.
familiar with what
I
a
had
one,
no idea.
if you're not familiar with what a one-hit wonder is, basically it's a musical term. It's used in pop music to describe any musical artist that has gained huge notoriety or popularity with one particular song that has overshadowed all their other music. So, the 3 songs that I have chosen for this week's morning playlist editions are all on the list of the top 30 one-hit wonders. And so, the first song I'm picking is Norman Greenbaum's Spirit in the Sky. Mm-hmm.
I forget what that one is. Can you sing it for us?
I don't remember all the words, but Spirit in the Sky, something something when I die. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then something go to a place that's the best.
Do, 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 do. That's on the Remember the Titans soundtrack. One of my faves.
Mm-hmm. Second song I'm adding is Carl Douglas's Kung Fu Fighting.
Everybody wants kung fu fighting.
Yes, yes, buddy. I sing
Nice.
that. I probably sing that at least once a day. It is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Anytime someone says everybody, that song always comes up 50% of the time.
And then the final addition to the playlist is the Safety Dance for Men Without Hats.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, Safety Dance.
I thought you were totally going to do
That was
Cult
one
of
of my
Personality
first-
for
That was one of my first downloads on Napster.
Napster.
That's a throwback. Well, I was using LimeWire the other day. Oh, but that is it. I hope those songs not only help you enjoy the one-hit wonders of the world, but also help you get your good morning on.
Sweet. Welp, folks, talk at you again next week on podcast services around the globe, where we are going to talk part 2 of Randomness and see what Ronnie and I have to share and discuss with y'all. Alrighty then, Mark, Pat, and Ronnie J, along with you, our friends and podcast family, go get your good morning this week, and may God bless you and guide you as you live, as you work, and as you game.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is GMG.